I'm Megan.
And I'm Kira, and we're the voices behind Two People, One Question.
Our question today is, what is intelligence?
And our bonus question today is, why do people take breaks? Which leads us quite swiftly into a bit of an explanation.
Yes, so as you may have noticed from the time gap between our last video and this video, we took quite a long hiatus, at least 8 weeks. We haven't checked.
Yeah, because throughout the summer we've been on summer holidays from school. Throughout that time, we didn't get to meet up to record any podcasts, so that was useful.
We had very few times that we could actually meet each other. I don't even know if we met at all.
We met up a few times, but it wasn't just me and you, and the things that we did weren't really good for podcasting.
Yes.
That's a verb now, podcasting.
Podcasting.
Okay. Anyway, so yeah.
So we apologise for that. We are going to try and get back into the swing of things.
Yeah, just getting back into that routine and all of that stuff.
Well, then let's get into our question, shall we? So our question, as I just said, is what is intelligence? So this is gonna just explain basically what intelligence is, as the question says.
Well, Megan, I wonder why. Yeah, just different types of intelligence, different ways of looking at the word intelligence, different meanings behind it. So, Megan, if you'd like to start us off?
Yeah, well, intelligence has been researched for many years, at least dating back to the 1900s.
There isn't a set definition for intelligence, other than a dictionary one, I guess. But there's no clear way to measure it either. It's obviously you can have an IQ test or tests in school, like your GCSEs or whatever. But they don't really test your intelligence. They test different things. People can be intelligent in different ways, which is what we're going to explore today.
Yeah, there are also controversial issues as to whether or not intelligence can be trained or not, or whether it makes a difference in life. So you might be able to learn different intelligences, different types of intelligence, but then it might not actually make a difference in life, that intelligence that you've learned.
Yeah, so I'm just going to take a pause with a bit of the information part of the podcast to ask you a question. So, do you think that intelligence is a natural ability or it can be learned like a skill?
I think both.
You think both? Okay. Care to elaborate?
Well, I'm not sure exactly what you mean by it's a natural...
If some people just naturally have a higher intelligence and naturally, it comes easier to them.
I think that can be the case, but it's very strongly depending on how they were brought up and how they take to learning. Because some people find different ways of studying.
Yeah.
So some people like to take notes. Some people like to listen to different things. Some people like just reading. Yeah. So they gain intelligence in different ways. So that could play into how naturally intelligent they are, because it's different ways of how they learn.
I have quite an interesting perspective on this. That basically, I don't think that intelligence is a natural ability, but other things that can play into it are such as determination, being hardworking, being curious. Those things are natural. Those things are natural characteristics that just happen. That you can't teach those things, and those things are what make a person intelligent. And those things are what makes a person able to learn quicker because they have that kind of drive for it.
Yeah,
that makes
that makes sense. It's actually quite a good explanation.
Yeah, so just letting you guys think about that for a while.
Anyway, moving on, psychologists are starting to understand that intelligence isn't just academic.
Yeah, it can also include things such as street smarts and self-understanding, which is what we're going to be talking about in today's podcast.
Yes, so first we're going to be starting off with street smarts. So street smarts just generally refers to knowledge gained from personal experience.
Yeah, so not the kind of thing that they would teach you in school per se. Often the word street smarts, or it's not really one word, but you know what I mean. But when someone says street smarts, you often think of tough. How tough you are. Yeah, so being sort of tough and being able to be in a fight or do those kinds of things. But that's not actually what street smarts is. It's just what people often attribute it to.
Yeah, well, I was actually researching the subject of street smarts. Some people refer to it as me trying to become cooler and tougher, and I was no, that's not it at all. You should look it up. Yeah. Because it is actually an interesting topic.
Yeah, which is what we're going to be talking about. So, some people say that people with higher street smarts are able to better access situations spontaneously. So, basically, what we mean by that
I wrote the wrong word there. Instead of access, it's supposed to be assess.
Okay, that's very, that's the thing. Sometimes one of us does the research for this. Most often it's Megan. But, so often I'll be reading her notes and I'll be like, what does this mean, Megan?
Yeah, so what I mean by that is that they can, they're able to think up things a lot easier.
Yeah, quick thinking.
Yeah, more quick, they have better quick thinking.
So learning street smarts help you trust your own judgment about people and other stuff like that matters. So like, you know that gut feeling that you get? People who have a high street smarts will get stronger gut feelings and will like trust them a lot more rather than having to rethink and other stuff like that.
Yeah, so a lot of people just play off gut feelings, but with personal experience, a lot of people who have street smarts realize, wait, no, this actually means something, possibly.
Yeah. So street smarts often mean that you've put yourself at risk and like survived. So it doesn't mean like mortal risk all the time. It doesn't mean like physical risk. It can mean risk of anything. Like
say you leave your homework until the last second and then realize next day that you haven't done enough for it, and then you're gonna get in trouble.
Yeah.
Speaking possibly from personal experience.
Definitely. So that's the kind of thing. Like, so you've put yourself at risk of anything, really. Like, I'm trying to think of examples right now. My brain is definitely failing me. But yeah, like the one that Megan just said. It's like it can be a risk of anything. It doesn't have to be, like we said, like in being tough with like mortal risk or anything like that.
So street smarts are seen as one of the most useful kinds of knowledge, as it can help you in everyday lives.
Yeah.
So such as like your quick thinking and fast reaction time, which I didn't say fast reaction time before, but that is another thing.
Yeah.
You get fast reaction time.
Yeah, like a lot of criticism with like book smarts and smarts that they teach you in school, like the type of intelligence that you learn in school, is that you won't use it in everyday life. And I can say I disagree with this somewhat. But if you guys want us to do like a full video on that, then we'd be happy to. Just tell us in the comments below. So I can't say I disagree fully with that, but street smarts will definitely help you a lot more in everyday situations.
Yes, so it means you've learned how to handle certain things in a good way or a bad way.
Yeah, it's definitely, street smarts are just from personal experience. You can't really be taught them, you can't be told them by anyone else, you just learn them over time. Yeah, so you'll often learn how to like improve from experience and like improve the way you handle certain situations and stuff like that.
Yeah, and it's also been said that street smarts can help you learn different things faster than regular people do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, often street smarts will be more desired in people rather than book smarts.
Yeah.
Like, if that makes any sense? Yeah. So that's kind of all of the information, like the notes we have on street smarts. So do you have anything else to say on that regard?
No, not really, apart from the fact that street smarts definitely do not mean just like general things on the streets. It's just known as things that like help you definitely in life. So
yeah,
don't get the definition mixed up.
That's the one thing that we really want to like preach, is that it's not just about being tough and like having a life on the streets. It's about learning from your experience and improving on it.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so now we're going to move on to self-understanding, also known as self-concept in other situations, more psychological situations.
Yeah, it can be tied into that. So
Yeah.
it was first known use of the phrase was actually in 1608.
Yeah, which is a long time ago.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah, it's like what, 400 years ago? More than 400 years ago?
More than 400 years ago.
Yeah.
411 years ago, I believe.
Wow, quick maths, Megan.
Ooh, quick maths. So self-understanding shows you know when you've done wrong or right, and you can improve from it. So basically, it's a lot like self-reflection. in a
Yeah,
way.
it's like knowing what you've done and really thinking upon it and like understanding it, I guess, if that makes any sense. So it is quite similar to street smarts in a way of the whole like improving on like previous experience thing, but it is a little bit different.
So it helps you understand why you are who you are,
Yeah.
and what makes you unique from others.
Yeah, so it's really about understanding who you are and like your personality and why you do certain things.
You know, it can tie into your physical appearance, like your personality, like your personal traits,
Yeah.
your hobbies and stuff like that.
Yeah. So it means you know, like, the motivation of your actions and what you strive for. So what we mean by that is that you know that everything you do has a meaning behind it, a reason, and you know what you want and you know how you want to go about getting it.
Yeah. And with self-understanding, you are more empowered to make changes to yourself and build on things about yourself.
Yeah.
So you're more likely to, if you look back into your self-understanding and you see things about you that you don't like, you're more likely to, with more self-understanding, you're more likely to try and improve on those things, such as seeing that you procrastinate a lot, or you think negatively in a lot of subjects. You look back about, I don't want to do this anymore, and then you can just like, well, you can't just stop doing it straight away, but you better work on it.
Yeah. Shameless plug, go watch our video, Why Do People Procrastinate? Ooh, shameless plug. Go watch that video, but once you finish this one.
Once you finish this one. So anything else on self-understanding?
Just to kind of reiterate the definition of self-understanding. So self-understanding is all about knowing yourself, knowing your goals, knowing your personality, and knowing why you do certain things, and like, it's just kind of knowing yourself, and that can be learned over time, but it can't really be taught. You have to do it for yourself. So it's self-understanding. You need to know yourself.
So you can't do it from experience.
Yeah, it can sort of be that from experience, but not really. It can't be naturally brought. You need to work on it, and you need to figure it out for yourself.
Yes. So next is book smarts. We have the smallest section on book smarts because we're actually going to go into, because a question that I saw a lot while researching these subjects is, which is better, street smarts or book smarts? So we'll go into that after.
And we'll tie self-understanding into that as well.
Yeah, we'll try to.
Yeah, so book smarts is the most common type of intelligence. So when someone says intelligent, you will often attribute it to book smarts. So book smarts kind of means like academic intelligence. Wow, big words. Just like the kind of intelligence where you can solve a math problem really quickly. You can write a long answer in school, often used in school or any kind of education. So yeah.
It is actually the contrast of street smart, which is why we're going to go into which one is better.
Yeah.
So they're quite opposite from each other, which you'll see why when we go into this. So people who have book smarts obviously do better academically, as we just said.
Yeah.
And compared to someone that has street smarts, book smarts describe someone who has general knowledge than someone who has practical knowledge.
Yeah. So often it is said that you won't use book smarts as much in real life. Book smarts are in a contrast to street smarts in the way that you can't really teach street smarts, or for that right self-understanding, you can't teach those things, but it's often thought that book smarts can be taught to you.
Yeah, so book smarts is the kind of thing that you learn in a school classroom. Mm-hmm. So it's the thing that you're kind of being taught. As Kira just said, you can be taught street smarts through different ways, such as did I say street smarts?
Yeah.
You can be taught book smarts through things such as studying, whereas street smarts you have to have actual personal experience.
Yeah. And book smarts kind of attributes to the way that people, the pace that people take in information that is taught to them, and how well they obtain that knowledge. Now we're going to be moving on. Am I allowed to be moving on, Megan?
Yes, you are.
Right, we're going to be moving on to this kind of question that we've slipped in here without really telling you, without saying it in the title or thumbnail.
So I'd like to say that although book smarts aren't generally used in everyday life, it does help you kind of build your future in a way, because you aren't able to get into a good college, into a good job, if you don't have good grades.
Yeah, that's definitely something I was going to bring up. It's although street smarts is better when you've actually reached, life, while getting yourself into a good life is often attributed to book smarts. And obviously, we're not saying that you have to be super good at book smarts. You don't have to be really super smart to have a good life. It's hardworkingness, curiosity, determination that brings you that thing.
But don't be too curious, because curiosity killed the cat.
What? What?
The common saying, curiosity killed the cat.
I've never heard that before.
You've never heard of that?
Listeners, have you heard that, or is that just a weird Megan saying?
That is a very common phrase that I know.
All right then, listeners, have you heard that? Write in the comments down below. But I forgot what I was saying now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh my god. Yeah, but those like qualities of like hardworkingness and determination, those sorts of things, they are what bring you intelligence and bring you these kind of smarts. So you really do need it to get into a good like future.
Yeah, but then obviously with street smarts, it can just, as we've said many times, it can just help you in day-to-day life. It can help you be more reactive to things that could cause a problem in the future, such as accidents, things like physical accidents, and just like, I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Never do I.
But like social accidents, possibly.
Situations. Sticky situations.
Sticky situations.
Yeah. Street smarts. God, my brain's not working. I had something in my head and it's completely left. Street smarts also help with the way you react to certain situations, so you don't completely fall apart when something happens to you. It works in like your reaction time. It helps with how you like deal with other people in this. But yeah, so overall, book smarts, street smarts, which is better?
I say book smarts, actually.
You say book smarts?
I say book smarts.
I think that might be my answer too.
Although street smarts is essentially like, they're definitely more useful in like everyday life, as we said many times before. But
yeah,
book
that's
smarts,
literally like the saying of this video.
But book smarts, they help your future a lot more than what street smarts would do.
Yeah.
Apart from street smarts possibly saving your life.
Yeah. So I think that's how we're gonna conclude it. Guys, tell us what your answer to this question would be. Book smarts or street smarts? Tell us in the comments below.
So now we'll move into our bonus question.
Yes, which is, why do people take breaks? So this is again another opportunity for us to apologise profusely
For taking a over 8 week
very
long
extended break.
hiatus.
Yeah.
But we're back now.
Yeah.
Fun.
Okay, so Megan, why do people take breaks?
Well, obviously one of the most one of the most common things is that people are stressed.
Yeah.
So people are stressed from just like everyday life, situations that have happened in their life, work.
Work? Is that
Work?
Yeah,
They could be stressed from work.
Yeah, so I think the most common need for taking a break is stress or a busy schedule. But often I find I'm a bit weird. I really enjoy being like super, super busy. I think I mentioned this before, but I'm a super theatre-y, dancey person. So every single day after school I have some kind of dancey, theatre-y something. So it's weird for me to take a break. Like, for example, over the summer, taking a break made me feel so like stressed because I was like, I don't know what to do with myself. But yeah, I think that is the most common type of taking a break, and I think taking a break is definitely really valuable, and it's not seen as good. I think someone who can like really look at themselves and say, I need to take a break, is a lot stronger than someone who is managing a schedule that's crazy and getting themselves really overstressed just to kind of appear to be like strong.
Yeah, because that will obviously cause problems in the future for that person.
Yeah.
Another reason why someone might take a break is obviously what happened to us, is that they have to take a break because what they're taking a break from isn't possible during the time that they are taking a break.
So with us, what happened was that we weren't able to meet up, which is the main thing. We weren't able to meet up to turn up videos for you to listen to. So yeah, that is what happened to us. It's the reason for taking a break is you physically have to, and there is no way of getting out of it.
Yeah, and then there's also things such as, tragically, like something happening inside a company, which will result in them not being able to function. So people working at that company, they can't actually go to work. So then they have to just take the break. They just have to take the break. They have to take time off work.
Yeah. A reason that I've thought of is like health issues. So often, if someone has like a health condition that's having a flare-up, or they've had an injury or something like that that has caused them to have a health issue, they will often need to take a break. Yeah, that's a thing.
So I'm not sure what else we can go into for taking breaks.
Yeah.
Have you got any other ideas?
I don't believe I do, actually.
Well, just before we conclude this video, I just want to ask you guys, if you ever find a platform for us to post our podcast on as well, then please tell us, because we also want to try and spread our podcast a lot wider.
Yeah, so we have been posting for a few months now.
Yes.
Obviously, we've had that break in the middle, but we've done it. I reckon our first one was about March, was it?
Possibly.
So it was like early on in this year. And we've been posting for a few months now, but on YouTube, podcasts aren't, let's say, trendy right now.
They're not the most popular.
Yeah. So we really appreciate if you guys find a platform which allows a user to upload podcasts that we could get onto some other things and produce more things for you to listen to.
Yep, well that concludes our podcast today.
Tell us your opinions on the subjects we've discussed today, and if you have any ideas for future questions, please tell us in the comments below.
And please follow us on our Twitter and Instagram accounts.
The links to both of those will be in the description box.
We hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next time.
Bye!
I'm Megan.
And